Yeah, a very big welcome to you, my dear Sagittarius. Today is your full moon, and of course, you are getting the sun from Gemini. Gemini is your opposite energy, and so here you are wanting to reach towards this, right? Because Gemini is the sun, and you are now the moon, even though the moon right now is in its full potential. It's actually, when I put them together, for you now, the soul path will be to reach into Gemini, into the union that you are creating here with the Two of Cups, right? The flow that is coming here in this temperance, in this melting, right? This is the melting card here in this beautiful tarot deck that is from the native Indians, the medicine woman. And so here you're getting a glimpse of where your path is going, because as a soul you are now to reach this opposite stage, right? You are Sagittarius, and the moon is now full in your sign, and the sun is giving you the light. And so here you are called upon to integrate Gemini in your life, which is opposite of you, the extreme opposite, like fire and water, like man and woman. The yoga card for Gemini is King Pigeon, and for you I used Paschimottanasana, the forward bend, right? The reaching deep within you to find that union, to find that consciousness that is constantly exchanging, constantly giving and taking. And so on your full moon, right, you're getting a left spinning reading. I have all 22 major arcanas lying here, and on each position I have, from a different deck, from a different timeline, one card. And only on the Wheel of Fortune 2 came up, because I picked the German deck instead of the English deck, and so I picked then a second card, right? And I'm just gonna show you what came on the German deck there. So I'm gonna read this from right to left, and it's not easy to do that because it's the soul path, and we're not used to think from right to left, right? And this is very much the Jewish tradition. They read from right to left, and the path from right to left is the soul path, and connected with the wobble the earth does around its own axis to the left. And there we calculate the 25,800 years that this wobble takes through the 12 zodiac signs, and we get an age. And currently we go from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. And then of course during the whole year you get readings that I read from left to right, and I do that much smaller, right? I just pick a few cards that I think are important, and those are the daily readings connected with the spin of the earth to the right in 24 hours. All right, back to the last reading, because we want to connect always to what has happened before. You had Taurus Sun highlighting Sagittarius Moon, and you got the message 3 times the Sun. So next month Gemini will highlight your subconscious moon. So you had, out of 3 different decks, the Sun, and of course it was showing you the way that you are getting now a special reading in this month. And yes, you have now the full moon, and this is a special reading because it's for the whole year. It's like, okay, what I'm supposed to be doing. This is a new year that is beginning today for you on your full moon. Gemini is ruling the arms and hands, and for you it's the upper thighs. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. The communications, or the third house of communication, is dominant here. And you're ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter, the wise one, the wheel of fortune, right? The expansion, the flow. And you are that personality that brings this expansion to the people, right? Because it's like, why not? It's almost like, why should we not expand? And for some other people, it's like, well, we expanded enough. We maybe need to contract again. And we are abusing the world, and we're abusing, the resources that the planet can give us. So let's see what the message is for this year. And I'm always gonna have to be a little bit careful, because I have the tendency to go to the right, and so I have to be a little bit more slower. Your court card is in this deck of the Medicine Woman, the Eagle. And this is the inner world. And this is the artist of life. If your birthday is between November 13 and December 11, this is your court card, right? This is the typical court card that I used. Is actually interesting that here you are going into the left spinning cycle, and in this deck they put you into the right spinning cycle. Very interesting, right? So you're flying high up here, and you have a perspective, really an eagle perspective of the world, which is the soul as well, right? So interesting enough, here they didn't want you to be anymore just on a horse, which goes up. It's the only horse that goes up. They wanted you to fly, and here you can fly right or left. It's the soul no matter what, right? So that's very interesting that this is happening. Okay, so let's begin this reading. On the position of the Fool, so that first foolish thought that is giving you a seed, that is giving you an idea what can be, is the Queen of Swords, and that's a Libra. And you see here, this is the soul path. The soul path goes to the left, and she is facing the right. And so there is this notion mentally to go, even though this is your soul reading, also to connect with the world. This is a moment of truth, of recognizing what is it that you really want in this world, and what is it that you want to bring forward, because this is a state of consciousness that's saying, well, I am leading the way with her hand, right? With her left hand, she is like, yes, I am mentally now wanting to create clarity. There could be a Libra in your life that is influencing you, but it's this clear mental state of consciousness that is bringing you into the physical path, right? Even though we are going now to the left, because now I'm placing the next card, which is the Magician, here to the left. Before I would place it here, right? And so it's very interesting how this is behind her. So the potential, the Magician is the potential. He has all four elements lying here, and he has the rainbow, and he has all possibilities. He's the shaman, he's the medicine man, and he uses his drum, and the drum is connected always with the native Indians. And so the number 15 comes here to you, and the 15 in the Tarot is the devil in the major arcana, right? So either there is a Capricorn being there and giving you a new perspective of how you can beat the drum, but also when we look at it, it's the 6 calculated together, right? So there's the 15, calculated together becomes a 6. But the 1 is here with the Magician, and so there is this clear, yes, magic is unfolding when you are master over your 5 senses, when you are master over the 5 elements. And so the story goes that you are now calling upon the spirit world, all that is what you want, because you can see how he's facing the left spinning path. Now if I calculate the Magician in there, I get the number 16, and 16 is shaking, and the drums create that rumble when the tower comes down. But then to calculate it together, we get a 7, and out of that comes then the success to either go down or go up, right? We always have the inhale and the exhale, and so we are learning to master this world. So you have mentally a thought that wants to be manifested in the physical world, but through the drums you are now wanting to evoke more than just thinking about it. You want to create a stronger vibration into the soul path. Wow. Then comes on the position of the High Priestess, Leo. And Leo is looking slightly over, and Leo is giving you the strength to be in that infinite potential of that infinite power. We have here the number 8. In some decks it's the number 11. They switched it, right, between the 8 and the 11, between Libra and Leo. And you see how she's the seeker. She sits here and she's looking not in the mirror, she is looking at you, and she's saying, yeah, go and take that path. Intuitive, know that you have the strength to take that path, and that path is worth to be taken. The path to Gemini now, the path to your opposite. And so here the 8 is that infinite spiral, the inhale and the exhale, but you have the 2 now, that it makes a 10, and the 10 is then the wheel of fortune. The 10 is that next adventure, that next step, that next understanding of how these things work. Then comes on the position of the Empress, here the Hermit. Then you can see the fulfillment here in the Empress. She sits under the tree, she has the corn, she has the fruits, she has the baby on her breast, she has the river, she has the sun, she has everything. She is the goddess, she's the bearer of all creation, right? She is bounty, she is the mother, the earth mother. You see that you're getting the Virgo energy. So it's very interesting. You have Leo and then Virgo in a succession of how it would be in the left spinning cycle, right? So there comes Leo and then comes Virgo, and so you find within a deep satisfaction, right? And calculated together, it creates a 12. That's 1, the Magician, and 2, the High Priestess, which brings the strength to you, which brings Leo to you, and then again, the 3 is left. Virgo is able to give herself up to the other numbers, right? When we have a 9 in a number, you can always, let's say we have like 98, you can always say, well, when we calculate it together, we have the 8 left, right? And so here the 3 is left. So the Virgo energy is giving the Empress the power, and you can see her with her roses on the dress. Sometimes I like to calculate how many dots or how many, because they have a meaning as well, right? So yes, you are finding deep within now the Virgo trait of I am arriving within, and you can see, yes, there is always the bounty when you look deep within and see that the light is shining forward into the soul path, which is from deep within to the outside. Then comes your court card. I always put your court card after the Empress, because then begins the zodiac sign of Aries, right? Usually after the Empress, in the succession of all the 22 major arcana. But here it's almost like you are recognizing as the eagle the work that is ahead of you, and that sometimes we have to go through the human path, and you are flying high above here, and you are recognizing that deep within you have connected with your soul, that you have now arrived at a completion, and that you are really excited to take this next step, this next year, right? This is your year, the full moon to the next year again, the next full moon, right? Then comes on the position of the Emperor, the King of Wands, which is Leo. And you had Leo here. So Leo is giving you strength, right? The energy of creativity, sexuality. And so the Emperor is the master, the Emperor is the shaman, the Emperor is the seer. And he gives you a hold to structure and form. He sits here, smokes his pipes, and sits in front of the fire. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stones that we see. But the 10th stone is right behind. Interesting, right? So we don't see the 10th stone. And you had a 10 calculated together on the position of the High Priestess with the 8. You had a 10. And so the spiritual path continues. And here you get the King of Wands coming to you, helping you. And I even see it like you are moving from being an eagle, a knight. You are now soulfully becoming a king. Right? It's like the court card. Yes, it is for Leo. Yes, it is for you. But this card is coming and saying, now you are learning to master yourself in this world. And so you are in your head, in your inspiration, become now a king. You're not a knight anymore. You are stepping up because you have felt this union within you. Wow. Right? That's what's coming on the position then of Aries. Then on the position of Taurus comes here the 10 of Wands. And the 10 of Wands is Moon in Sagittarius. So you get actually here 10 Wands. And you can see that towards the human path, life always feels like we are pushing against something. And Taurus is the earth sign, the most grounded and fixed earth sign. And so together it's a 15, and that's then again the number of Capricorn. And Capricorn came through the drums to you, right? The drums that are giving you the potential to bring out into this world what you think you want to bring into the world, but don't push against it. Work with it, right? These are the 5 senses. These are the tests. So Taurus is testing you. Taurus is testing you, and you sometimes feel like you're walking against a wall, but it's just because you are not recognizing the fact that maybe you are creating this own wall. It's not Taurus is creating this wall for you. You are creating this wall, right? And we have here a wand, here a wand, and of course here's a wand as well. So altogether we have 1, 2, 3. Well, even here this would be also a wand in here, right? 4 wands. So then these 10 and the 4 wands through the people here, you have 14 wands, and 14 is your number, right? The melting and the unifying now of your energy is then also a 5. So it's almost like Taurus has the original 5. You have the 1 and the 4 that creates a 5. And the 1 is the magic in seeing the responsibility of the mastery, the responsibility of being an elder, of being a master. That's what Aries is bringing to you. And there you see that you are taking the responsibility now to become a king, and you don't want to be a knight anymore. You want to be a king. And sometimes you need to recognize that this is oppression, that this is pushing against institutions that are sometimes quite overpowering. But here's the peacemaker. Here is the meditation. Here is the person that gives us the information between the other world and this world, right? And so don't push against that. See if you can accept it and arrive in it, right? Don't push against it. Then comes on the position of the lovers. Here, the ecstasy in this deck of the lovers, the Scorpio, the death. And this is La Petite Mort. So there's a sexual act happening here. There is something where you maybe are awakening to this, because it's like the 15 here creates the social status, right? The 10 and the 15 creates the 15. That's Capricorn, and Capricorn is all about the social status. And so sometimes you are pushing yourself too much to be successful in this world, right? So just become aware. And of course, this is Moon in Sagittarius. Always remember that, because that's now what's happening. Moon is in Sagittarius. So now we have on the lovers the ecstasy. And the ecstasy here with the lovers, right? It's like, yes, La Petite Mort. Two people come together and there is this sexual act. There is something that is like deeply satisfying you. There is this, look at this, like this, I bow, I open my arms, I have beauty in the harmony, and in ecstasy we become one, right? It's so beautiful. And there is La Petite Mort, there is this orgasm coming to you, there is this, you are definitely stepping over into another realm, and you see the star within. You see that here the number 13 is the 1, the magician, and the 3, the empress, and the 13 plus 6 is a 19. Then again it's the sun, and the sun is a dwarf star, which is like, look in here. And then of course that's becoming a 10, right? So you have a 6 and a 4 that creates a 10 again. So there's a portal, right, into this 10. And you are able to look into it. You are able to see into the human path, because the humans are dying, not the soul. The soul is infinite. Very interesting. Okay, then on the position of Cancer comes here, she is the warrioress, right? Comes the high priestess. So of course the high priestess brings you the Leo energy, and Leo is saying you have the strength, and now you get Cancer. And now on Cancer you get the message that yes, your intuition is very important when you want to go successfully into the human path. Successfully know that the human path is challenging, and that you are, as a warrioress, right? You are in your third eye, seeing, intuitive, that you have the intuition, and the intuition is coming as the high priestess. The high priestess is letting you know, yes, this is the moment. This is the moment to know, go and be successful. Calculated together, the 7 and the 2 creates a 9, a completion. So here you are arriving at a completing moment in Cancer, right? Because before that you had here Gemini, and Gemini is the sun highlighting your moon. And this is where you are coming into your own ecstasy, recognizing that you are incorporating the opposite sign, which is Gemini here, right? Wow, beautiful. And then out of that comes this high priestess, right? This powerful high priestess that is successfully going forward into the human path and understanding that things are very specific, very powerful when we do understand how the tarot works, how these cards works. And then comes on the position of Leo, the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups is Venus in Cancer. And so here you had Cancer bringing you the Two of the High Priestess. So you have a 2-2 portal. Then you're finding a deep love within you, a very deep love. It could be then that you, of course, get here a relationship, a partner, maybe a Leo, right? Because Leo is here as the major arcana. Leo is here as the court card. And Leo is here now again as a major arcana. We have the Two of Cups, and so that's a relationship, right? That's love. That's anima and animus, and that's a very powerful moment. You have a 2-2 portal, and yeah, you are maybe falling in love, and it's gonna bring healing to you, a deep healing where your mind and your heart is then coming into union. It could also be that you yourself find that the two directions that these fish are taking, one is in the soul and one is in the human path, are now bringing you into a 10 again. So there are 10 portals already 3 times coming to you, right? When we calculate these cards together, one on the High Priestess, and then again on the Gemini, right? And now again on Leo you have a 10 portal. So 3 times 10 is like Jupiter is speaking to you in a very profound and powerful way. So the healing is upon you, the healing of your heart, and a relationship is coming and wanting to bring you forward. All right. Then on the position of the Hermit comes the Two of Wands. That's Mars in Aries, and you had the Hermit on the position of the Empress. So then you get 2 Wands, and 2 Wands, Mars in Aries is like, yes, take that step forward. Like you can see, she's facing the left spinning path. She is up here. She is the inspiring completion, and she is giving the light to all because she holds the lantern for all who wants to come up and take this path. Not everybody wants to take this path, right? Some take the path to actually simply be a warrioress, right? That's what Cancer brings. Or some come into this world and wants to experience the sexual union or the ecstasy that is coming there. And so each of these positions, each of these zodiac signs has, though, the power to learn more through the opposite sign if they incorporate it or if they reach that union. And you get 2, 2, 2 now. You get the union of here the High Priestess, the Two of Cups, and the Two of Wands. And that's like really saying, yes, you are having here a profound relationship that is really bringing a serious happiness to you, because it's your intuition that is telling you, yeah, now in the month of Cancer, which is happening now after Gemini. We're getting into the month of Cancer. Then comes here in the month of Leo, and then here in the month of Virgo. I mean, it's like you're experiencing the summer of love. It's really like very beautiful. And you had the orgasm on Gemini now. You are dying. You are letting go into a serious, deep transformation. Wow, beautiful. So then comes the Wheel of Fortune, and first card that came as the German deck is this naturalness. And the naturalness, then I picked the English deck, and I have here the Can You Hear Me? So we have the 7 and the 28. And the 7 is Cancer, is the Chariot, is the success, is that going out. And you are looking into the card, and then you can see there the opposites of each other. One is in facing the soul path, where she's natural and where she is really truly herself, and I always see a microphone, she's speaking up. And then you have this into the human path. It's almost like, can you hear me? And that's like a 28. The 2 is the intuition with, again, the infinite. The intuition is infinite. And then you ask yourself, can you hear me? And you are looking into the human path, and it's almost like you're alone. So then you calculate the 2 and the 8 together, which is a 10, and the 7, it's a 17. That's the age of Aquarius. That's the Aquarian position, right? The star card. So here you are being asked on the position of Jupiter. Here, the Wheel of Fortune, to incorporate the Wheel of Fortune strongly, because to incorporate the age of Aquarius in your life, and recognizing that everything is becoming now more light. That's why you're not on a horse anymore. That's why you are an eagle flying, because that's where we are seeing from all above what's happening here in this world. And it's really powerful, because you are getting seriously the message, right? Also through Virgo, through the Hermit, through this 2 of Wands, that things are seriously shifting, and that you are going into the soul path, but also into the human path. And this is what happened here. One fish goes to the left and one fish goes to the right. So that came up on Leo, and here on Virgo you get another 2. And so here you are recognizing that then the age of Aquarius, the 17 calculated together, is then again an 8. And the 8 is that infinite. Everything is infinite. And so you're awakening to the infinite potential that intuition brings. Intuition is infinite. Intuition is connected with the soul. What a message, right? So it's like, okay, then you have the 10 and the 8. That's an 18. That's the moon. And the full moon is in your sign. And you're getting this moment of, wow, this is very special. And then, of course, the 18 becomes the 9. An inner knowing, an inner arrival at yourself. Wow, what a powerful message already until here to the 10. So now we have the rest, right? And we go, of course, to now card number 11. Now we're in the center of the all 22 major arcanas. And this is Harmony, this is Libra, and Libra started the reading. Libra was like, okay, I'm going here in this direction. This is my path. I know that the human path is important. And here you get the 9 of Swords. And the 9 of Swords is Mars in Gemini. And of course you have Gemini, right, giving you the light. And you had a Libra all the way at the beginning. And so there is something within you that is now asking itself, where's justice? Well, justice is actually a state of consciousness. It's a harmony. And you see how these two people are holding up this beautiful, perfect world. And somehow you have sleepless nights, because that's what the Nine of Swords is bringing to you. And you don't have any other swords. But I am seeing now that the Ten of Wands and the Two of Wands, if I don't calculate the wands of the people, creates 12 wands. And usually action, to take action, right here you see 10 actions is too much, but then you have 12 and 12 turns into a 3. You can recognize now that here these nine swords need to be counterbalanced by Virgo and by the inner knowing, by recognizing that swords are mental distractions that Gemini is bringing to you. But so this is Mars in Gemini, and Mars is the tower. Mars is connected with Aries, and on Aries you had the King of Wands. So he is the king who can take care of all these problems and sleepless nights, because that's what comes up, right, with the Nine of Wands. But you see one sword is pointing up, and all the other 8 swords are now creating a triangle, creating a pointing up to this beautiful harmonious picture. So Libra is calling you to come into your center mentally, to meditate, and to be always in the spiritual realm connected with what's happening here. Then on the position of the Hanged Man comes here the blue chalcedon, the number 11. Here we have the Hanged Man. You have a vision, and for this year this is going to be the crystal that is going to help you. You have a vision, and this vision is to let go of any barrier that is giving you the feeling that you're separate from others. You see how she is looking at herself in the picture, and she looks like she's the Hanged Man, but it's just a picture on the water. It's a state of consciousness, the vision, and the Hanged Man. But you're getting here the 11, and you're getting here a portal instantly through the blue chalcedon. And the blue chalcedon is giving you as a meaning, as a help, that you are stopping to be fast, that you really want to slow down, and you want to do things a little more conscious, and that you want to come back to your inner balance and your inner relaxedness. And so you're getting a vision of that you have to use this stone to become more relaxed, and to use this inner vision to be like, okay, I do not want to be fast anymore. I do not want to do too much anymore. I do not want, right? I want to have not this kind of mind. I want to control that. And that's what a king does. A king controls it. An emperor controls it. It's not like a, and that's why you get the eagle. Rise above it and have a look at it. Rise above it, right? And see that you have the power deep within to overcome that. Then comes on the position of Scorpio, the 4 of Wands. So you have 10 wands, then you have another 2 wands, that's 12, and now you have another 4, that's then 16 wands, and 16 is the Tower. So there is something pushing you to the edge, but at the same time you also see that the 4 is a completion in itself, and that you see there's a 4-4 portal with Scorpio, because Scorpio is the number 13, and you're walking into the sunset. And in the sunset you can recognize now there's a deep, deep letting go, and you can see that there is something wanting you to go always into the center of the card, of the deck. Wow, there is this circle here again, and the circle up here, and you are gonna let go because you had Scorpio coming on the position of Gemini, and you did let go of a sexual energy. And so here on the death ritual, you are going to come out as a 4, and the 4 is really that celebration of a marriage, Venus in Aries, right? And you had, of course, the king, so you are now getting married, or you are now recognizing that you are empowering yourself by this 4-4 portal, and recognizing the power lies in reaching up but also reaching down, right? This is in succession. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. It's ending to this direction with the inhale, and in this direction with the exhale. Then we get on the position of the Temperance, the Ace of Pentacles. Now the first financial moment, then you will see that money, the 14, which is the 5 senses, and the pentagram usually always has the 5-pointed star in it, is the money. Then you can play with the money because it's coming directly from a higher source, from a higher consciousness. Here you get the crystal of ideas and potentials, and you can walk up to it, and you have all these faces in the rock, and you can see now that you are empowering yourself because you got the 14 and 1 coin. It's the 15. The social status comes then naturally to you. The social status is not something that I want to achieve. It's something that I have either within me, and then it will be there, or it will make out of me a slave, right? Remember, the 15 was there as well, and now you get another 15 here. So you have a 15-15 portal with the drum, and with the drum maybe you are now putting out the song of success, right? Because it was a 15, but with the magician it became a 16. What goes up also needs to crash down again. On the position then of the devil, of Capricorn, right? The 15 comes here, the high priestess. So 15 and 2 makes 17, which is then the star, and 17 becomes an 8 again. So you recognize that you are letting go more and more of the social status, that you are seeing that Capricorn is bringing you the high priestess again. You had now twice the high priestess on Cancer, and now again on the position of Capricorn. In Cancer and Capricorn are opposite of each other. They are actually inspiring also. They have to incorporate the opposite, right? And so here you are seeing that the high priestess, this intuition, that on the position of the high priestess intuition was Leo, was the strength, was again that you have to become a king now, and that you are not anymore a knight, that you are an eagle now, and that you're flying, and an eagle is always up here. That's where the high priestess is with the intuition. She's out there, and the eagle is creating that state of consciousness, right? And so here you are recognizing that you are learning that the social status is coming by being intuitive, by being conscious. And then on the position of the tower comes this spirit animal, and it's the dolphin. And the dolphin is wanting to tell you, recognize that here, through the tower, through this revolution, you can play, you can be fun in the human path. You can do it, because the tower is the number 16, and the dolphin here is then saying, okay, have fun. When everything is falling apart, just have fun, enjoy it. Recognize that something is talking to you, and it's your intuition talking to you, because that's what the high priestess knows. The intuition is talking to you. 2 times here, the high priestess, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 times the 2 now, which is the heart. The heart is needing some creativity, is needing some fun, is needing some good sexuality, and they're very sexual, the dolphins. So have fun, and look, is facing the human path, right? Now comes, on the position of the star, comes the emperor. And the star, or the grandfathers, the hope is always within you. You see how he's looking at the dolphin, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna let myself grow some beard, and I have the emperor on my head, and I know I am a king, and I know I can do this, and I will have fun too. And he has flowers on his chest. He's not bound anymore by the typical emperor picture. He's like, okay, I'm gonna have fun, I'm gonna make this really fun. And this is what the age of Aquarius is bringing. Right now we have fun with the internet, fun with what the age of Aquarius is bringing to us. And so you know that here the age of Aquarius was speaking to you through these 2, 1 in the soul path and 1 in the human path, right? Can you hear me? Yes, we can hear you. If you speak loud enough from your soul, then you speak into the microphone, then we can hear you. And then you're not alone. You are always with others. You have always guides. You have always guides from deep within. Wow. The last 4, then we get on the position of the moon, which is, of course, here a dream oracle, because these are the grandmothers that are putting the seeds in your sleep. And in your sleep, you're getting the number 27, the heart home, the compassion, which is then, of course, a 9. And of course, this is opposite of Virgo. And we had Virgo here. Look at that. So it's a 9-9 portal, right? Through the Pisces, which is 18, which is a 9 as well. So 999, right? So we have a good understanding of why you have sometimes sleepless nights. You have to recognize that deep within, the harmony is created within you. And the harmony is when you sleep, and when you recognize in your sleep that this is where we can plant these beautiful ideas of a heart home, of a home that is giving you everything that you need. The 2, the intuition, and the 7, the success. And so, of course, Pisces is giving you that, right? And is bringing you in that dream this idea. Beautiful, right? And then on the position of the sun comes then here the movement into the inner consciousness And this is what the Sun as a 19 brings you the 24. The 24 then becomes a 6. So again, connecting back to the Lovers, which is also, sometimes I want to turn this card around because her hair is like that. And look, her hair is also, there's like some whirlwind happening through Gemini. So the Sun in Gemini, right, is bringing you a shift, a change, the wind, the change, that things are made by you, created by you. So you have a 10 and a 6 is a 16. It's again a Tower moment. And the Tower moment was bringing you the Dolphin. So have fun. Have fun by allowing whatever it is that now is changing in your life, to allow that, because there is this rebirth that is coming clearly to you. And in this rebirth, it is like things are shifting and changing dramatically and powerfully. And so this is what Gemini brings you, right? Gemini is speaking to you as, yes, bring it on, because on Gemini we had here Death card, Scorpio, bring it on. But on Scorpio we also had the 4 of Wands, which is a marriage, which is like you're really going through something powerful, really powerful. And then on the position of the Last Judgment, we have here a new deck. The Lifruma Healing Oracle is connected with the rune alphabet. And so here you have ripen, mature, the number 50. So 20 and 5 then creates a 25. And then calculated together, the 25 is a 7. But the 2 is always, again, the High Priestess. And the High Priestess came right up on Capricorn and on Cancer, opposite of each other. And so now you are seeing that the 5, which also, of course, on the 5 of the Taurus came the 10. You are learning now to ripen. You're learning now to awaken. And I'm just going to read you here this card because it's really beautiful. Sublime things improve with time. Some reach their fullest bloom, immature, with so much room to still fine-tune their burgeoning maturation. Empathy overwhelms and bursts shadows, unearthing a wounded star-crossed child. Then wisdom leaves, ripped by a sudden breeze and blown off course. To ripen is to become emotionally stable, growing by knowing that all are entitled to passions without judgment. We must all grow generously wise. And you are growing generously wise. That's why you are coming into this inner spiral. The soul path is bringing this to you. You are ripening and you are seeing on top of your head the higher consciousness, and you are looking into the soul path, and you are seeing that the ripening is here. You are seeing that you are becoming a king. You are seeing that you are allowing to be sexual, having la petite more. You are seeing that you are now having a love that is deep, that is also creative. And you are seeing that things are speaking to you from a very deep place, that the compassion that is here now planted in your dreams is coming to fruition, because then on the position of the world, you become the dancer, you become the swirler, and you're getting here the 3 of Wands. You're getting 10 wands, 4 is 14, then again 2 wands is 16, and another 3 wands is 19, the Sun. The sun is bringing you Gemini, and Gemini saying, yes, now you are able to dance, now you are able to see, and you connect, and you are in the 3, which is Sun in Aries. Sun in Aries is next year. That's where you're gonna be a king and not anymore a knight, but the knight as well has matured up into the eagle, right? And so you are shifting into a bigger, higher consciousness. And so then the queen, which closes up from 0 to the world, the queen is seeing here the ripening, and she is understanding it from a mental perspective, because this is Libra, and on Libra you had also this. You had 9 swords, but Libra has also a sword, and so you have 10 swords. And you don't have any other swords, right, than these 9 swords, which is then also, of course, creating a 9-9 portal with the Hermit. Find always deep within you this higher consciousness, and then you will ripen. Then you will have found a deep harmony, and you see the path then goes back into the human path. Then the next reading is again a right spinning reading, but here in the left spinning reading you got all 22 major arcana, and it's like, it's a very powerful reading. You got the message that you learn to accept that things are complex here in this dimension, but from the soul perspective you get so many help, so many guides, and so many fun energies coming to you, right? Like the dolphin on the tower, right? And you get on your position the money, the powerful money, and you get on Leo, you get the 2 of Cups, and it's just like, I have taken a picture, you can look at it again. I mean, this reading is really beautiful. It's really saying, yes, you are seeing in this full moon that, yeah, the opposite sign is bringing a shift. When you reach that, right, when you really reach your opposite sign, that is where the ecstasy begins, right, here in Gemini. So next year, when Gemini then again has that moment of where you give Gemini the full moon light, right, then you recognize that everything is always cyclical, everything is always round and connected. Wow, what a beautiful reading. And so 3 times the sun, yeah, 3 times the Empress, right, brought to you that Gemini is really giving you the power now to empower yourself, and you are empowering yourself very clearly. So I wish you a beautiful full moon celebration, and I hope I see you in the next reading, because on Cancer you got the High Priestess. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.